Hi everyone, welcome to Stampin' Gala. Today I'm going to show you how to create this butterfly card using our beautiful day stamp set from Stampin' Up. I'm also using our Stampin' Blend Markers to color the butterfly, and I'm using Versamark and silver embossing powder. Offline, I took a piece of 8.5 by 5.5 and scored it at 4 1/4 and folded it over for the card base. Now you don't have to write down any of these dimensions because I will have them on a full PDF on my blog. The first two layers are Night of Navy and Whisper White, and I did snail those together offline, and I'm going to attach this to the card. You can find these dimensions at stampingala.com on my blog. Next, we're taking a piece of Night of Navy, and we're going to attach this to the front of the card as well. Oops. And we're just going to center this from top to bottom and also side to side, okay? Next, we're going to take a piece of our DSP, our Designer Series paper, and this is from the Bubbles and Fizz Designer Series paper pack that happened to be free with this year's celebration. Now, you can use, if you don't have this DSP, you can also use a piece of DSP out of our Tutti Frutti set that's in the Occasions catalog. There's a very nice polka dot, navy and white polka dot you can use in there that would look very attractive. Now I just attached these two together, or attached this to the card, I should say. Okay, next I'm going to stamp the butterfly image on this piece of Whisper White. And when I'm using a bigger stamp, I like to lay it on its back and then ink up the stamp, because that way I can see that I got all of the image on there, or all of the ink on the image. Okay, so I'm going to center this and just stamp straight down. Now you never want to rock your stamp because you'll get over stamping along the sides. You'd have some over stamping here from rocking it. Okay, so that looks perfect. Let me get this out of the way, and we're going to bring in our embossing powder. And I use this a lot, so I like to put it in a bigger container. And I like to use a little spoon as well. So we're going to sprinkle generously the powder on here, the embossing powder. Make sure you click off any extra. You don't want any extra spots on here. And then we're using Stampin' Up's heat tool, and we're going to turn this on and heat it. What this does is it will react with the ink pad and turn the powder into a liquid, and then it forms hard. So you want to hold the heat tool about 1.5 inches away from the image. You don't want to shake it like this. Just hold it in place, and when you see it turn, then you can move the heat tool, as you can see I'm doing here. Once it turns, do not hold it in place, because what will happen is you will actually burn the paper. This heat tool is very hot, so you don't want to burn your fingers as well. People have asked me before if a hair dryer would work, and the answer to that is no. It doesn't get hot enough. Okay, so this looks really good. Now, I did stamp another one offline. I'm giving this a chance to cool down. And I colored most of it. I saved the bottom corner so I can demonstrate how you use this and how you blend it together. So now, if you'd notice on my card, I do have some embossing from the Big Shot on here. So that's done with the softly falling embossing folder. I'm going to bring the Big Shot in, and we're going to run this through the Big Shot. Now, what I did is we're going to open this up, and you want the bumpy side to be on the bottom, okay? So we'll put this about right here, and it doesn't really have to be straight because it's such an abstract folder that you won't even be able to tell the difference. You're going to put it between the two plates and crank through. Okay, now it's going to come out like this. So let me move the Big Shot out of the way, and then you'll see what I mean. Okay, so here's your image, and the reason I stamped it first is because if you embossed it first through the Big Shot and then tried to stamp it, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't stamp on these bumps. Okay, so we're going to bring in a piece of Bermuda Bay, and we're going to snail these two together. There we go. Okay, and I have this popped up on dimensionals. If you follow me a lot, you'll notice that I also use quite a few dimensionals. And I like Stampin' Ups because they're not really thick. It just adds a nice touch without, you know, making the card too high. So we're centering this right on the card. Now we're going to bring in this piece, which again I stamped offline, and with Versamark again. I put the powder on, the silver embossing powder, and heated it. Now we're going to color this, and I'm going to take the navy, the Night of Navy, and the dark, and they come in dark and light. And you're going to just add some color here. And what I'm doing is just adding it on the outside, or the outside tips of the wings. Okay, that's all there is for that one. And we're going to take the Bermuda Bay light, add this in, and connect it to the navy. Okay, and we can do a little bit of blending with this. And then I'm going to bring in the Pool Party and really blend it. Okay. Try to stay off of the embossing silver part because you don't want to actually smear that at all. Okay, so we have this done. That's so simple. And now what we're going to do is cut this out with scissors. So we're fussy cutting it. And if you notice, I'm turning the paper and not the scissors. So this shouldn't take too long. It'll only take about a minute to cut this out. And if you notice, I'm leaving a small edge, a small border, white border around the butterfly. You don't want to get right up to the butterfly because it just doesn't look as nice. You can try it on something else and see what I mean. And I think you'll be happier with it just with a little bit of a border. Okay, so there's that. We're going to bring this back in with we're going to put a couple of dimensionals on here. back them right up, and bring the card back in and put this right on top. Okay, so the wings kind of are loose. Now offline, I took a button and also our silver baker's twine, and I threaded it through here and just tied it in a bow. I'm going to add this on with some glue dots. Oops. And we'll add this right here in the center of the butterfly. Oops. I don't think I grabbed one. Doesn't want to stick. Okay, here we go. There you go. So there's the front of the card. And then what you want to do is stamp the inside of the card with the Whisper White, on the Whisper White with the silver embossing powder and Versamark. Attach it to a piece of Night of Navy, and you can choose to leave this uncolored or you can color it to match. It's your choice. Today I'm going to leave it uncolored. I'll show you the two together. And I just want to ask you a favor. If you like this video, if you could please just click like at the bottom of the screen, and also share this with your friends on Pinterest. Oop, I did this a little crooked. Share this with your friends on Pinterest and Facebook. I would appreciate it. Okay, can't have a crooked card. There you go. All right, so let me bring the other one back in. This one I do believe I colored, and this one I did not. So it's your choice how you want to do it. And I want to thank you so much for watching my video and following me. It means the world to me. Thank you so much, and have a great night. Bye-bye.